If you are anything like me, you are probably someone that's always on the move. You're outside working, and if you're not outside, you're inside the house working too. And for me, I have a family life to maintain as a married man, so that doesn't necessarily mean that being at home just equates to relaxing and being able to do the things that I used to do as a kid, like gaming and tech. Actually, being at home can often mean completing chores, doing housework, and also just spending real quality time with my wife. Ultimately, my life is not the most scheduled, you know what I'm saying? I relate to the times when I was a teenager and I could literally just go home from school and know that I had a time dedicated to like gaming, and that might have been 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. I'll just be playing Xbox with my friends or whatever until my mum got home, and then maybe I'll turn off the console, have dinner, then prepare for bed or do some homework. Like, it was so simple, but ever since I became more of an adult, life hasn't really been like that. It's been a lot more of me having commitments in various points throughout the whole day, meaning that there isn't like dedicated time for gaming as much. If you relate to me, this video is for you. Also, to preface this, I'm actually going through, I was just thinking about it, and actually, what does full-time mean? Some people consider full-time to be 9 to 5. That's your hours every single day, other than the weekend. You're working those hours, but actually, I don't work those hours. My full-time looks like being a music artist that has various different points of work to do and commitments to do. For example, there's certain days where I do full-time work in an office type of setting. That's where I run this music charity called Wired for Music, where we help young people aged 16 to 25 in developing their music career, and that's an amazing job to do, and I'm looked in on certain days to do that. But then other times I'm actually doing music work, I'm in the studio, or I've got like a freelance job to do. I also am very committed to like my spirit as well. I've got commitments for faith, for church, and making sure that I really study like the Bible. I definitely set time to that, and I don't treat it like a game. To me, that's very much as important as a job would be, if not way more. When I consider what does full-time look like, I'm kind of saying that this video relates to you if you have a lot of things that you're truly committed to, even if it doesn't look like the typical 9 to 5 job. You just need to make sure you have a lot of hours that take you away from just relaxing with a game, you know what I'm saying, or looking at technology or playing with some sort of gadget. Do you know what I mean? You don't have the time because you've got other things that you're committed to doing. With that said, let's start the video. I've got three things that I do to make sure that I keep the love of my favorite hobbies alive. And of course, for me, we're going to focus on gaming and technology. Technology for me, that is like watching and keeping up with the progress of mobile phones, computers, again, even gaming consoles, or music, audio, music equipment. I like to keep up with those type of things. That's like my thing that I don't necessarily need in my life, but it does make me happy, so I like to maintain its enjoyment in my life. Here are the three things. Number one, I've got it on my notes actually, would be setting boundaries and communicating them as much as you can. What I mean by this is the most important thing you can do to make sure you get at least some time is to actually tell people what time you have available, and also tell yourself what time you have available. And that can include making sure that people know that a certain time frame you need for yourself to do what you need to do. You might not explain it that way. You might just say to someone, if they ask you to do work for them and it's not like a locked in hours outside of your normal hours, you can just make sure that, all right, I can do this, but I definitely cannot be free at this time, maybe 11 o'clock p.m. Maybe you look off the night times. Do you know what I mean? If you're a late night guy, you need to basically let people know that there is times that you just can't do stuff. And once you've done that, and you've been fair about it, you've been realistic, you've aligned it with your goals as well, because you don't want to just have a big gap just for gaming. Like, every day I'm gonna have 4 hours dedicated to video games and doing what I want to do, music, watching YouTube, all of that. If that is gonna cause you to fail at completing your personal real goals, whether that, for me, it might be to achieve a certain amount of income, or it could be that my goal is to make sure the house is maintained so that when my wife sees me at home, the parts that I need to get done are actually done. Do you know what? Or I said, even like for me, from the perspective of my faith, making sure that I'm not taking time just to play games instead of going to church. Do you know what I mean? You got to be very honest with yourself and actually allocate time while considering the things that you have to do, the things that are important to you. One way that I do that, my wife bought me this planner. This is just like a Harry Potter special from a company called Moleskine. And essentially, inside of here, I can write down what I'm going to do in the day, in the week. I can put there's like different like sections. So you've got a week for like every day, so you can put in what you're going to do that day. There's a calendar in there, there's a planner in it, so there's a bunch of ways you can like organize your life. So I've made myself a little timetable in it so I can do that. And with that timetable, I just try to commit to it as much as possible. So when I'm talking to people, I know my timetable. So if someone asks me to do something, or if I have the option to take or not take a job, I can just refer to the timetable that I set up, and I'll know how to have that boundary so I can keep up with the things that I love. But moving on, let's go on to number 2. I think that we need to try to make everything portable. One thing that's really helped me is portabilize everything. That's not a word, okay? But portabilize everything means all of the things that you like really enjoy. Yeah, for me as an adult, I've found that it's a lot harder to enjoy those things because I'm always outside or on the move and unable just to be in the environment where I can just enjoy all of the stuff that I like enjoying. For example, when I was younger, I'd sit on the couch, turn the TV on, and sit there for hours playing one game, playing Call of Duty, playing Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm. I'll just sit there. However, now that I'm older, I got family, I've got work, I've got tasks to complete. It's now looking more like my day is spent outside. I'm in the studio, I'm working with other artists, I've got committed to doing meetings. I've got to meet my manager or my music manager or my employment manager. I've got to do all of these things, right? Because I'm not spending as much time at home, a lot of the time that I have free is actually spent traveling. A lot of the time I'm on the train or I'm in a car driving. So I'm not actually like in the space where I can just whip out the Xbox PS5 and start playing in front of the TV for long. I've actually had my time cut short because I have to get work done. So what I have done instead is I portabilized everything. So here's the example. I've got an Ableton Push 3, which I bought at the start of the year. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. Let's try and get it out. I've got this massive instrument here that I bought, and I thought I'm going to be able to use it all the time. No, because I've got so many things to do. I'm never at home, and it's so heavy. It's so heavy that actually it's not practical to bring that with me all the time. So instead, what I got recently is this. An Ableton Move, which is the mini version basically of the Ableton Push that I've got there. It's not as powerful, but it works very differently, and it's really, really, really fun to use because of the portable nature that it has. It's really cool. And so I can just put that out in my bag, and then when I finish work, if I wanted to, I could spend some extra time actually just like working off that on my desk while I'm at work. So I don't have to feel like I'm missing out. When I'm on the train, I could put that on my lap and start making beats. So you can see what I'm saying. Another example is I got the ROG Ally recently, the ROG Ally, which is a gaming console that basically has the power of the PS4 kind of, games. So I can play loads of games on it because it's basically a PC, but it's portable. It's a portable PC game. So look at this. Again, I've got this, and it's a portable console that has Windows 11 inside of it. It's got all of the platforms that I want to use to play games, so I can play Xbox on it. I've got the Xbox over there, I've got the PS5. When I can't play them, I can connect to them on this and play them there. So portabilize everything really goes a long way, because it means that you can actually like optimize your time with these hobbies, because you don't have to like have them committed to one location, which might be the location you're rarely in. And as an adult, it's the house. It's your own house, it seems. That's number two. I think my final point, actually, before I even get to the final point, I'll just say about that is actually like, once you portabilize everything, the main tip though is do not bring every portable thing on earth with you wherever you go. I run into that mistake all the time. Yeah, sometimes I'll leave the house and I'm going to like a studio to have a music session. This happened yesterday. I was meeting up with Athena Raperta, this other amazing singer. And before I left the house, I was thinking, cool, I'm gonna bring the Ableton Move, my MacBook laptop, and then I'm also gonna bring the ROG Ally and I don't know, my microphones. I'm going to bring my portable microphones. I might even bring an extra microphone. All of these things that are portable, yeah, once they're in the bag, in the rucksack, it becomes a gym session, fam. It's so heavy to carry these things once they're all in one that it don't make sense. And in reality, I had to think to myself, am I really going to play games at the studio? Do I need to play games on the train ride home? No, I don't. I got my phone. I could literally just play a little game on my phone. I could write some lyrics. I could be productive on the way to the studio. I could write the lyrics on the way. And that's what I did. So I left the ROG Ally at home and I only bought the music equipment. So even though you portabilize everything, you actually have to think to yourself, you know, on this season of time, what do I really need to bring with me? What do I really want to, you know, have my hobby time spent on? Do I want to just bring everything so I have the option? You probably don't, because your back will be hurting, your shoulder will be mashed up, you'll regret it, fam. So it's always good to be selective and really honest with, you know, what you take with you when you do the portable thing that I just mentioned. So yeah, that's step 2. I'm going to give you the last step now. I think audio and video can save the day for you. Yeah, what do I mean by this? Having really good content to consume around your technology around your hobbies can be so good. It depends on your hobby, of course. So for me, like I said, I focus my hobbies on, I spend most of my time looking at gaming stuff, maybe sometimes anime and manga, but also like tech, researching tech, finding out what's happening in the world of consumer technology, right? That's what I look into. Now, I could spend most of my time using these things. I could spend ages playing games, buying games, playing them. I could spend ages purchasing stuff and then learning how to use them. But one thing that really helps me feel connected to my love of these things actually doesn't involve spending money at all, for the most part. And that's YouTube, that's podcasts, that's, I don't know, TikTok, Instagram, social media. Following creators and journalists that are covering the things I love really helps me stay tapped in and included in the conversation. So when I'm on the street and I meet someone that loves the same things I do, I might not own the product that, you know, is relevant right now, but I have researched about it and I really do enjoy, you know, watching people talk about it. There's actually creators that I just genuinely like hearing from. There's, for example, a guy called Skill Up, and he's an Australian gaming journalist, content creator, and he does a weekly video talking about what's happening in the world of video games. So when I watch his content, it really helps me kind of digest like what's new and what's hot right now in that world, and I don't have to spend a dime. I can just hear his opinions and like hear the excitement as to what's going on, because he puts a lot of effort into his videos, making it entertaining for me to experience. So that really helps. Finding audio and videos that can like supplement the fact that you might not be able to like get your hands on everything. Those are the 3 things that help me keep the love of my hobbies alive. And as you can see, a lot of it, pertains to being responsible with your time and still respecting, the adult life that you are living. Unfortunately, there aren't many ways to go back to the childhood version where you can sit at home all day. Maybe you can try and get rich, but you know what are you gonna do in the meantime? So those are the ways that help me, and honestly they really help me. I think the only thing that I find hard about it is actually just making sure that I don't let those things take over my life too much. It's very easy to get too distracted by things. So my core message in life, I just say it's working season, meaning I try to cut out distractions for a period of time and focus on work. So when I do end up coming out of that season, I can spend a little bit of time playing games. You know what I'm saying? By season, I just mean a period of time. It could be your 9 to 5 hours, whatever it is. At least then I know that from 6 o'clock to 7 and 8 o'clock, I can just do what I want. But that's just my personal message. I hope you enjoyed it. My name's T Peters. If you like this video, you'll probably like my music as well. I'm a music artist, and all I do is I make chill, catchy and conscious music all around the hope that it can encourage you to cut out your distractions as well. So listen to my music if you need a nice soundtrack for life that will help you complete your goals, yeah? Other than that, take care. This is my wavy life. In a bit.